Ah, can you believe now, while the battery light is flashing, finally I have video, I have content, and even a story. We'll see if I get it out. With seconds and the battery time remaining. As it turns out, the basis of everything that I'll do here is a strange turn that I believe could not have been brought into life without modern physics and the conceptualization of the Einstein world, the odd relation between matter, time, space, and light. And I think that it's only in the world of strange connection and of the relativity, the special relativity, that we can even envision a kind of life that is self-proving in its realities, not all of which can be stated, and perhaps not all of which ought well to be pursued as stateable, in that the attempt itself to state may not only mislead but cause events which become then causal influences in the science. So I would say that when we move from radical, and all of this then requiring a multi-layered perception. So we not only have the perception of grand ideas, which appear as, if you will, a graphic of extraordinary design, but that design then is repeating itself in layers, so that we actually begin to say, no, we are not going to disregard what we have, as we have at the end of radical empiricism. Not everything that is of the imagination, because with it goes everything of the mind. And we are instead going to use that which is of the mind, which is empirical, that which I'm going to call the fact of time, as the entry into the interdimensional realization-based graphing of our world, what we suppose our world to be, in fact, as we emerge from a singular self-order into a great order, and find ourselves speaking with a through line in science and metaphysics. So seeking the fact of time defined, as you'll find in my past work, as the measure of accomplishment. And accomplishment, a sure relation, and by sure I mean measured in occurrence, a sure relation between a metaphysic fact and what is truly a metaphysic fact, a metaphysic time-honored law whose presence is here unendingly we seem to be willing to acknowledge, yet we have no term for its presence in a single instant. And so if we redefine time as the measure of accomplishment, and accomplishment is only being present when there's a metaphysic element, which is human consciousness, and a physic element, which is the very nature of our existence, then we begin to ask ourselves, well, we know a great deal about the physic element down to its metaphysical self. Can we now look at the metaphysical self all the way down to the physical self? And in so doing, only eliminate, as they say, the wuju, the magic, the implicit and dreamful and obviously psychological, and instead go to that which is truly time-honored and implicit in human form. When we look at the registry of, I heard it today in a philosophy lecture, what about out-of-body experiences? What about near-death experiences? And then those in an instant dismissed. When in fact, we should absolutely pay attention to what is actual in occurrence. Do you see? So that we absolutely test ourselves. Do we have a moment of metaphysic and physic occurrence that are twined so that we have a fact of time, that time does occur, and this is a fact of time. For instance, a moment took place. If we are attempting to put together the facts in a crime, we would say the moment certainly occurred when the person decided they would take the thing, decided they would cut the lock. You see, it certainly did occur. All we're deciding here is whether it was premeditated or whether it happened right at the moment of the cutting of the lock. So it is with then enlivening once again the discussion of what is materiality as we enliven it with the metaphysic, and the discussion of the metaphysic, which up till now is what? Myth and God, enlivened with this new science-based, fact-discerning mind turning itself towards, well, what is the absolutely implicit as a fact of time reality which is melded in our physical world, in what we call human occurrence, and the totality paradigm, that we are a metaphysic being in a physical form coming into the awareness of that constraint in a shared lifetime. We are a metaphysic being having a physical occurrence. And the twining of those together in a unified principle of understanding is what, sure enough, will heal not only our age, but the way we approach our culture, building our culture. And as you will see, how then that culture is reflected in the way that we live, and that becomes, in fact, our culture and the study of our day. This is the long day. Just another moment in the long day as we pursue it, where it matters not what day it is, we're doing what we do. It doesn't matter what time it is, we do what we do. This is what we do. We are the dreamway people. We're the long-suffering people on the shoulder of the mountain. And we are those people who know that the world spins. And that this moment is just another moment in the great long day of coming to a truthful understanding of our world, which apparently is, once again, not going to be this thing. Ay,